Hey yo everyone, back for another walk, another evening walk. We have reached our Riverside Walk Trail, and we are walking. We have our tonight Gator Light Zero. Went for a different flavor. So come on in, it's a nice cool night. Got some cloudiness tonight, so we don't have the sun in our eyes like we did last night. Oh, I'll wait for some folks to come in and we'll chat about the day's excitement. Not much to do really until some folks come in. So just sit back and enjoy the scenery and say hi if you'd like. We can chat. Walk and chat. That's the way to go. It's a very exciting evening here in uptown Tulsa. Very exciting indeed. Picnic area up here. We're going to throw the cap to my drink away because I don't need it. And off she goes. Tumbling away, never to be seen. Now we have the topless Gator Light Zero. How scandalous. Scandalous, I tell you. We have a person riding a scooter in the walking lane. Okay. Hi, Sydney. Welcome to my show. Another lovely evening of walking around Tulsa. Oh. You're at the pool. I am not at the pool. I am on the walking trail, looking at some geese across the street. Extended family of geese. All the cousins, all the Gentrys, all the Lattimores. All the Brocks, all the Frosts, walking around in the park. Oh. And I'm starting out with a bit of a sore back today from all the ladder work at work today in the full shift. So I'm hoping the walking and keep reminding myself to roll my shoulders back and stand up straight will help my back feel a little better. It's counterintuitive, but sometimes it works. Or I fool myself. One or the other. Probably fooling myself. Because theoretically, walking about 7 miles really isn't going to make my back feel better. But sometimes I think it does. You can see the sign over there. It says "Up with Trees." GC Roach Company. Up with trees, yes. Plant more trees. Oh. Started a little earlier tonight, so I was able to start the stream after I got to the Riverwalk here. Didn't want to deal with the sun anymore, so I tried to start a little earlier and get through the westward part of my journey quicker. Turns out it didn't matter because it's fairly overcast to the west. So the sun's getting blocked quite efficiently. The Gator Light Zero, not nearly as good as that Electrolyte Zero. Can't recommend. It's okay. Doesn't taste as good. Tastes more like what you'd think a zero beverage would taste like. Got that weird aftertaste to it. This is stevia leaf extract to sweeten it. I never did look at the electrolyte to see what the artificial sweetener is in that, but I will next time. Yeah, Blue. I did see Rev say that. That litter box. Yeah, and the cat box was probably full because William was lazy. Yeah, blame it on your son, Rev. That's great. Your stepson. Or it's not even your stepson. Blame it on your girlfriend's child, Rev. That's brilliant. Oh, speaking of geese, we have a party. We have a party of geese. Very excited ones. Here they are. Here you go. If they attack, I'll have it documented. They're not attacking. They're looking. They're not attacking. More like eating. That one's very excited to be here. And all his friends over there. New low. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. He's had some pretty low lows. I don't know if that's the worst thing he's ever said. It's not great, but I don't know if it's the worst. You'd have to dig pretty deep to get a new low for Rev. At least there's not a cop car looking around today, at least not yet. Oh, by the way, thank you. Thanks for coming, Blue. Welcome. Oh. The rest of you folks, say hi. Doesn't cost anything. Go on in the chat and say hello. Unless the other 4 of you are people I've blocked. In which case, don't bother because you're blocked. More geese up there. This must be goose night or something. Goose night at the Riverwalk. We'll go with that. It's goose night. It's Christmas goose early. There's a pretty view of the river at dusk. Or it's not even really dusk. The sun's still quite high in the sky. It's just so cloudy. It's not bright at all. That smaller tower over there, the little white tower that looks like it has a ball on the top, is a Doppler radar. Right on a hill where I used to live up there. Back in my married days, we were right at the base of that hill. Lookout Mountain, they call it. Tulsa's Channel 8. That's their Doppler weather radar. Number 1, kid kicking. Number 2, threatening to beat kids. Kid. 3, 19 N-words in half a minute. I'm gonna go with number 1 as the threatening to beat the shit out of the autistic kid for having the cat in the floorboard. Number 1, what the fuck? You're threatening to beat up a kid. And number 2, for what? For letting a cat be on the floor? You're the dumbass that didn't bring a carrier. Don't blame the kid. I wouldn't want to have a cat on my lap for a 24-hour drive. What an asshole. They're there. More geese staring at me. Not attacking, though. They're too docile, I guess. It's International Goose Night. Well, I don't know about international, but it's Goose Night here. There's a lot of geese out. It's kind of weird. Kind of freaky, honestly. Oh, goodness. Tired already. It's night after night of walking after a 10-hour shift. It's starting to get to me. But hey, I got one day off tomorrow, and then back to work on Monday. Selling the Apple stock is not the lowest, but is the dumbest. I don't believe him. I don't believe he had Apple stock. I don't believe he had stocks, period. Come on, folks. His mother was a hairdresser. And that's not slaying hairdressers, but, you know, they're not exactly upper middle class. It's not like she owned her own salons. I'm not saying she didn't do pretty well, but I don't believe she had six figures to give him an inheritance and lived in the house they lived in. None of that makes sense. None of that makes sense. Not a wealthy person by any kind of indication I can see. But in my opinion, and unsubstantiated, we're not ever going to be able to look up how much money he actually had. That's what's going to happen. Oh, only 3 folks tonight. Is there something going on somewhere else that you know about? Usually have more folks than that stopping by. Try to pick the times that nobody else is streaming. Not much going on, but I could have missed something. I think Geek Room's going on tonight, but not till like 8 my time. Cope's tribute stream. I've seen enough of those. Again, I was not a big Cope watcher. Not really my cup of tea. Tired already. Not a good start. We're only about 2 miles in and I'm already tired. That bodes ill for my future tonight. It bodes ill. Hopefully my battery will last today. I'm at 74%. Seems like it's wearing out faster and faster. I may need to go get a new iPhone. I need to do an upgrade. Something with a better battery. More robust, longer lasting, all that good stuff with the newer technologies. I'd sure like a bigger screen. I think this is an 11 Pro, maybe a 13, maybe it's a 13 Pro. But Apple just doesn't do the big screens. I'd like a big screen, but I also like iPhones, so I guess you can't have both. This one I have now, I think 6.1 inches. I think the biggest they make is 6.9. So I don't think that's going to be a world-changing difference if I get a 6.9 screen. I'd like something I can barely carry with one hand. That would be fun. Basically a small tablet. iPad-sized phone. How about that? I know what you're thinking. Just get an iPad and use the phone app, right? Yeah. I like my iPhone. Just wish they made a big one. A 9-inch screen or something. Like those Androids. Or, what's that, the Samsungs? Is that the ones with the huge flip-out screens? Nobody here a big fan of large phones? I would like a larger phone. Five folks watching, slow night. Maybe I'm too early. I don't think so. I'm not much earlier than I was last night. Maybe some folks will trickle in. We can chat about what Vaughn did today. I really didn't keep up with anything he posted today. So you guys will have to fill me in what he did today, what landmarks he showed, how far he made it down the road. Hello, Brandon. I did see that he was begging for money, and I made a comment on that video. He said something about the evil trolls do, or somebody withdrew a donation to him, and I say, well, damn good. I told him to make a sign and go beg for money like the POS you are. And then I said, while you're doing that, I hope you think about your mom laying on the ground suffering with a stroke while you stepped over her. You son of a bitch or something. Oh, hi, Michael. Says, no Vaughn updates in a while since he said it was broke. And yeah, I saw that one. Couldn't afford gas. I honestly think things may have fallen apart on him today. Well, we can only hope. We can only hope karma catches up to the old man eventually. Maybe I'm a shitty person for hoping that Vaughn Helton, finally gets some karma, but I don't think so. I think a lot of people share my opinion on that. I think if anybody deserves a little bad fortune, it's Vaughn Helton. And I don't see myself backing down from that ever. The guy deserves everything bad he gets and more. Can't imagine something worse than ignoring your own mother bleeding to death in her brain on the trailer floor. Can't think of anything much worse than that. Uh-oh, we got a bicycle in the walking path. Gonna have to be careful to avoid the bicycler. Crisis averted. We narrowly avoided the bicycle. Oh my gosh, we got another one. How long was she like that? Do we know? Brandon, here's what I will say about it. Vaughn Helton himself, the day he went to the hospital, did a stream and said he went over there about 5:30 in the morning, which is about for Vaughn. He gets up early, he does stuff early. Says he went over there about 5:30. The 911 records show that the call was made a little after 9. So according to Vaughn himself, at least 3.5 hours passed from the time he went over there and the ambulance was called. That's what I know. Now, was he telling the truth about 5:30? I don't know. That would seem consistent with Vaughn getting up early mornings. And, after that, he's backtracked and said, oh, no, it was just a couple minutes. He has said consistently he went out to feed the dogs, which we know he doesn't do. So he just cuts open a bag of dog food and throws it out there. That's his idea of feeding the dogs. But as far as absolute 100% sure, no, we're never going to be. Blue says, one moment and he will get the video. Hi, Big Zebra. Delightful to have you here. You're a true delight. Yeah, Blue, one day he will be gone and we won't see him until 18 months later broadcasting on a phone from some halfway house. Or we just won't ever see him again. And much like Larry, we might not even see an obituary or anything. He might just be gone, never to appear again. Which is honestly probably the most likely scenario. That he just never shows up again. That's going to be my guess. Who would buy the obituary? Good point. Good point. Who would pay for it? Remember when I told Vaughn that April was too poor to do an obituary for him? And he argued with me that they had $2 million or something. And I'm like, Vaughn, I've been to their trailer. I shook his hand. I gave her a hug. They didn't have $2 million. the gym. You can't argue with Vaughn. Never mind the fact that I visited them and Vaughn was never there. Can't argue with the man. Vaughn just road tripping his way to his inevitable end. Yeah, absolutely. That's the way I see it. And again, I think just eventually days will pass, weeks will pass, months will pass. No word from Vaughn, no broadcast at all. Just his old videos sitting up on that channel. And we'll just never hear from him again. And we'll know something happened, but we'll never know what. Much is the way of the lolcow. At least with Cobes, we got a notification pretty quick. It's honestly kind of bizarre to me that people were monitoring the civil defense radio and getting real-time updates that an ambulance was going out there. That's wow. I mean, are you actively monitoring Casper Wyman fire and EMT channels? How was there even any suspicion that anything was wrong? The people were monitoring. Are they just monitoring all the time? It's kind of weird. I wouldn't go so far as to say creepy or stalkerish, but not my cup of tea. If you're that invested into Cobes, that's pretty weird. There was a weird audio hiccup. Oh. Yeah, that happens when you're walking, cell towers in and out. Cobes looked like he was about to die the past 2 solid months. I mean, when does he not look like he was about to die? But that said, I mean, how is it a 24/7 thing? Did they take shifts monitoring the emergency channels? I mean, why would somebody be monitoring it when those calls started getting made? Just randomly? Is it just they heard something? How would they? I don't get it. The fact that people were reporting on the EMT calls immediately. It was that night of the second extreme. They had him on 24-hour full-time internet survey. I mean, maybe people were taking shifts. I don't know. That's just wild to me. With no indication that anything was imminent. Oh, it's a helicopter. Helicopter flying down the river. Could be a tour. If his appendix burst and he ignored it for a few days, yeah, that's bad. You can't ignore an appendix burst. Not even Cobes. That's some pain, Jack. The trolls really did. Yeah, okay. Cobes is probably one of the most trolled people on the internet after Cyrax and Vaughn. I believe it. It's just, wow. Were people listening to Clay County, Kentucky emergency radio all the time in case something happened to Vaughn? Back when Alice fell, I don't think anybody was monitoring in real time. We heard about that later that day when Vaughn came on. Yeah, because Vaughn wasn't a Kiwi Farm spokesman. Yeah. Many people liked Cobes. Yeah, I get that. But still doesn't explain to me how in real time people were monitoring those live calls and reporting on it. That implies that they were monitoring all the time, because there would have been no warning. Hey guys, get on the scanner. Something's going on in Casper. No. Cobes didn't even have a phone. Now Cyrax, I can kind of understand it, because Marty's community, those people are nuts. I can see those people monitoring wherever in Ohio he is, the emergency scanner traffic. I can see that. I don't see it for Cobes. I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of things. And that's why we get on here and chat about it. If I can get a better perspective of how these things happen and why they happen. Got a nice cool breeze coming in now. 12 people on the stream. Welcome. Good to see you. Say hi if you haven't already. Anything you guys want to chat about, feel free. I have the basic same rule as Rabbit Old Bat. Just don't be a dick. If you come in being a dick, I'm not even going to give you attention. You're just going to be gone. James Corvus is here. Thinks there's a small group that had contact with Cobes and his dad, maybe. But see, even his dad didn't know. I guess it's possible his dad contacted somebody, and that somebody contacted other people who immediately fired up Casper, Wyoming emergency scanner traffic. So I guess that makes sense. You're going to jump to Geek Room just starting? Yeah, it's 7 o'clock. I thought they were at 8, but they might have meant 8 Eastern. Yeah, go ahead. Come on back and forth if you want. I'm just walking, so I'm going to walk. Probably will cut it short and just listen to myself if the viewers drop too much. But we'll see. Again, that Cobes isn't really my thing. By Cobes, you mean that guy Cobra who works in fast food? He didn't work in fast food that I'm aware of. I mean, King Cobra JFS, Josh Saunders, the guy that Secular would review some on the Weirdo Wonderland. A bunch of people review. Cobes was the one that would do crazy food hacks. He'd eat the weirdest stuff. Seems it would be someone who already monitored Casper, Wyoming scanners. Yeah, knew about Cobes. James says Vaughn is upset at Trump over the price of gas. Here's the thing, James, and I may make some videos about documenting Vaughn's lies. Doesn't anybody remember when Vaughn went to New Jersey? When he got there talking about how gas prices on the highways were $4 and $5? Am I the only one that remembers that? And all of a sudden, when he's coming back from Jersey, it's $3.25 or $3.50. And he complains that it's going up. Someone's going to have to explain that to me. How it can be $4 or $5 and then go up to $3.50. So either Vaughn was lying about the $4 or $5, or he's lying now that it's going up. And I think I might make a video just showing that video evidence back and forth and tagging Vaughn, seeing what happens. You know, eventually somebody's got to call this guy out on some lies. Vaughn's memory is poop. Well, that's why you show the videos. Like, Vaughn, you're the one that says you're not allowed to lie. Here you are, a month and a half ago, saying gas is $4 and $5, and now here you are saying it's going up at $3.50. So you're either lying now or you were lying then. And you say you're not allowed to lie. And see what he does. Vaughn is a pathological liar, yeah. I just think it needs to be shown more often. It needs to be expressed in public. Not allowed to lie. Yeah, Tommy Larson. That is a LOL for sure. And at least this time he can't make the excuse that, well, he hadn't joined Freedom Religion yet when he said that. Because it was literally end of June. What was about 16 months ago? No, it was June 27th. He was talking to J-Dubs when he got there and said gas was $4 and $5. Might have even been that week, later that week. Said it several times. Easy to find on film. Easy to find. I just need to do an edit. Hi, Donna Murphy. Does Vaughn have any kind of plan? It doesn't seem so. But Random Life Stuff says he's going to have to offer his gumming ability to truckers. I kind of told him today, I said, make a sign and go beg for money, you show, just like the POS you are. Go be a bum. Go sit there under a sign that says no loitering, no solicitation, with a sign that says anything helps, God bless, or something. Do that, Vaughn. I dare you. Bet he won't. Vaughn has special mathematics. It will change everything. Yeah. He certainly is special. Got that right. Gainful employment equals Vaughn's kryptonite. Couldn't have said it better myself. There's a pretty sunset. Look at that. Tulsa power plants in the sun. The sun's peeking out of those clouds now, though. It's so nice right now. Shady, cool breeze. Oh, Blue means a different time. You were live with him. It was more than a year ago. Yeah, he said gas was $5 in Kentucky. Yeah, and I went on. I think I just Googled lowest gas price in Manchester, Kentucky, or something, and started reading off the names of places and how wrong he was. I think back then he was saying it was $7 a gallon, and I made the claim it's not $7 a gallon anywhere in this country, and I was right too, because even in downtown LA it wasn't $7 a gallon. He was a liar. Liar. Of course, it's hard to prove it's not $7 anywhere. You have to have exhaustive knowledge of every gas station in the United States. So that's difficult to prove, but I was right. It wasn't $7 anywhere. It was like $5.89 in downtown LA or something. And this was back when it was cheaper than it is now. And yeah, that was probably about a year ago. Year or two. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Vaughn Lamley said these things fluctuate. That is what it did. I went through the gas prices in his local area, Oneida, Kentucky, and Manchester, Kentucky, and started naming the names of places. And he said something, well, I'm not at the Quickie Stop. I'm like, well, Vaughn, I'm just saying it's 3:05 at the Quick Stop in Oneida, Kentucky, or whatever it was. You're wrong. You're just wrong. In real time. Hot gas prices near you, yeah. I think here it's about 3.25. I haven't had to get gas in a while. That's why I like my Elantra. 40 miles a gallon, folks. Highly recommended. Not a sponsor. Sorry, I will try to hold the phone up. I get tired and it sinks. I get tired and I droop. I will try not to droop so much. His claim that his mother was Rosie the Riveter still grates, yeah. And that one sticks because he basically played a part in her dying. Which, come on, folks, she was 92, 93 years old. But still, she suffered. And that bothers me, that she suffered. That bothers me a great deal. She suffered because of him. My local broker was 270. Wow. I know it's not under 3. That's great. It's 270. Donna says Vaughn is going to have to start e-begging for a motel room. Good luck with that. Motels are expensive. You can't hardly find a place under about $80 a night anymore. Certainly on an interstate, on a main road, you're not going to find something cheap. You should go into town. Got some 4-on-4 going here. The old man, steps back 3. No, just off the back iron. Rebounded by the church team. Back out to the young spud. Fakes the 3. Drives in the lane and misses. Oh, old man for 3. Here we go. Front rim. And you have to have a real credit card to get a motel room. Yeah. So they want to scan that in case you damage the room or something. Have it on file. Sub-Zero is going to be winter. Once it gets cold. Sub-Zero is going to be winter. Okay. Are you saying it's going to be Sub-Zero winter where he is? It surprised me. Sleeping in the car is good. That's what Vaughn says. Hater. Don't be a hater. Okay, I'm going to go avail myself of the facility. Get rid of some of that Gator Light Zero. In the vicinity, I will turn off the cam and my microphone because I'm not JS. And also, there's other people around. You don't want to invade their privacy in a restaurant. That's pretty sick. So, I'm going to turn the cam and the mic off If we lose signal for a little bit, don't worry, I'll be right back. No big deal. Oh, we're doing some skateboard tricks for this camera. Here we go. Be right back, folks.